Stop exactly what you are doing right now. Gemini, if this video found you today, it was not the algorithm making a random choice. It is the exact moment in your cosmic cycle demanding your attention. I can feel the heavy weight you have been carrying in silence, the exhaustion of fighting battles nobody else sees. Do not click away, because what I am about to reveal will finally explain why things have been so difficult lately and how you are going to break free from it. You thought the sudden halts and heavy energy lately were just a streak of bad luck, exhaustion, or coincidence. But it is actually an active spiritual siege of envy closing in on you precisely because you are on the verge of a major breakthrough. Imagine a lighthouse that doesn't ask for permission to shine, but attracts all kinds of insects to its glass until the glass is finally sealed and protected. That is exactly where you are right now. You will discover why everything seems to be freezing just as you reach the finish line. You will understand who, or rather what energy, is trying to keep you small and quiet. You will learn the exact signs that this invisible siege is operating in your daily life. You will receive the exact words to cut this cord and claim back your momentum. And before this message closes, I will tell you a phrase about your life that you will carry for the next few months. Have you ever felt that there is a strange, heavy weight over your life that increases precisely when things start going right, as if every step you take is being watched way too closely? As if something inside you knew that not every look around you is rooting for you, but your mind still hasn't been able to accept it. And what if this sequence of delays at the finish line, friendships that suddenly cool down, and unexplainable exhaustion is not a coincidence, but a sign that the universe is trying to show you the spiritual envy surrounding your Gemini path? Because while many pretend that envy doesn't exist, few realize that every delayed phase can carry an unspoken look, an invisible chain, and a spiritual siege that hasn't been cut yet. But what if the great turning point lies in this revelation you haven't been able to apply yet? Now think with me. Why does everything stall in my life exactly when it's about to work out? What if every project that died the day before completion, every compliment with a bitter aftertaste, every time your brilliant idea ended up in someone else's mouth, every heavy energy after certain encounters, and this constant feeling of being watched way too closely are signs of a spiritual envy you have ignored for way too long? It was searching for answers to this that I found this digital book called The Great Secret of the Universe to Keep Envy Away from Gemini's Life. This book is not just a reading, it is a revelation created for Geminis who want to understand where this energy comes from that halts your own journey. Cut the invisible ties of envy. The evil eye and silent sabotage ward off this energy from your life for good, to grow as light as you were born to be. Many Geminis already feel they need to protect themselves from this energy surrounding them, but they still haven't made the decision to download the digital book. Download it right now. It is available in the first pinned comment. But attention, the access could be taken down at any moment. It reveals reflections, hidden signs and directions that can transform the way you protect your energy and finally unlock the doors that have been artificially shut. Do not wait for another victory to freeze at the finish line to seek protection. Click now, download your copy, and discover why the envy that tried to dim your light might be the exact proof that the universe has prepared a glow for you that is simply too big to go unnoticed. If this first word has already touched something within you, type "My light is mine" down below. Not for me, but because another Gemini who is exactly where you were a year ago needs this message to find them tonight. This path has a map, and it is already within your reach in the first pinned comment. I will return to it shortly. And if for some reason you are not interested or cannot acquire the digital book right now, there is still another door open for you. I do not receive a single cent for any of these messages I deliver here every day. Nothing at all. And yet they keep coming out every day, for you and for every Gemini who still needs to be reached. If at any point your heart wants to return a little of what it received, there is a voluntary donation link open in the first pinned comment, right below the book. Any amount that fits in your hand today. Any amount your heart points to. That is what keeps this channel standing. That is what makes the next message reach another Gemini tomorrow, exactly as it reached you today. I will wait for you there, Gemini. I still haven't told you the most important thing. There are 4 signs that this siege is already acting upon you, and you will recognize at least one. I need you to slow down for a second, Gemini. The noise of the outside world is incredibly loud, but the silence inside your head is often deafening. You have been carrying this invisible weight for so long that your shoulders have adapted to the tension, assuming this is just the normal cost of being you and trying to build your life in peace. Notice how your body reacts to what I'm about to say now. Notice if your shoulders tense up or if your breathing changes. Feel the sudden shift in your chest, the way your breath might catch just slightly, because deep down your intuition already recognizes the truth. There are 4 exact signs that this heavy energy is currently operating in your daily life, and you will recognize at least one of them right away. Think about that sudden, crushing wave of exhaustion that hits you at exactly 3 in the afternoon, right after you shared some genuinely good news in a seemingly friendly environment. You were energized, you were vibrant, and then, inexplicably, you felt completely drained, as if someone had unplugged your battery from the wall. You called it unexplainable exhaustion. The universe called it an energetic drain. It is not a lack of sleep, Gemini. It is your energy field warning you that not every smile in that room is actually rooting for your victory. Then, there is the project or plan that mysteriously falls apart at the very last minute. For some of you, this appeared as a promotion or a professional opportunity that keeps getting delayed just when the contract was about to be signed. For others, it is a financial settlement, a move, or a relationship step that is always almost ready, only to completely freeze at the 11th hour. You called it a streak of bad luck at the finish line, but the universe called it an invisible siege. It is not a coincidence. It is an active, energetic interference latching onto your momentum exactly when you are about to cross the threshold. Consider the bitter aftertaste of a compliment from someone close to you. The words sounded incredibly sweet. The tone was perfectly crafted, but your stomach dropped instantly, and a sudden, unexplainable chill washed over you. You called it your own paranoia when feeling those heavy stares. The universe called it spiritual perception. That is your sharp intuition, picking up the hidden resentment wrapped in sugar, warning you that the energy behind their words entirely contradicts their smile. And finally, there is that sudden, overwhelming urge to hide. The impulse to quickly delete a post, to downplay your achievements, or to physically shrink yourself in a room because you felt an invisible chill, a heavy look settling directly upon your shoulders. It is that deeply ingrained instinct to keep quiet, so you do not bother others with your growing light. This is not you being insecure. This is your aura actively trying to protect you from an active drain. Recognizing that the space around you is not safe enough to hold your true brilliance without trying to steal a piece of it. Every single one of these signs has a common origin, Gemini, and this origin has a very specific name. But before the name, before you can truly understand the mechanics of this interference, you need something else entirely. There is a path of protection, and I'm going to open it right now, before the name, before the word. Because whoever carries the weight of this invisible siege needs relief before receiving the revelation. Stay. And it is exactly here that the path of protection opens. The signs that just hit you did not hit by chance, Gemini. They are the exact symptoms of a spiritual reality you have been trying to ignore. I know you have been feeling that heaviness that isn't just exhaustion. It is colder. It is a field that closes around you every time your light grows. For a long time, you convinced yourself that stepping back into the shadows was the best strategy, as if hiding was safer than shining. You thought that if you simply stayed quiet, if you downplayed your achievements, the universe would finally let you rest. But what if this chill is a warning? What if this sudden urge to shrink yourself is not your intuition protecting you, but the siege itself forcing you to surrender your own space? The heavy energy in the room, the sudden drop in your momentum exactly when everything was supposed to work out. All of this is your aura desperately signaling that the invisible walls are rising. I have seen Geminis who were exactly where you are right now. I have looked into the eyes of people who carried this exact same silent exhaustion, wondering why their brilliance always seemed to attract such heavy, suffocating resistance just before the finish line. They also blamed themselves. They also thought they were doing something wrong, constantly adjusting their behavior, constantly analyzing their own words. and shrinking themselves to fit into spaces that were secretly intimidated by their glow. They carried the weight of unspoken resentment on their shoulders for years, believing it was just the normal cost of being successful, until they finally stopped trying to appease the darkness, until they realized what was truly happening around them and understood that their own kindness was being weaponized against them. The doors that closed at the last minute, the friendships that cooled down when you grew, the sensation of carrying stares that nobody admits to. It was searching for a way to break this invisible barrier that I found this digital book called The Great Secret of the Universe to Keep Envy Away from Gemini's Life. This digital book is the exact map you need right now to understand every single dynamic of this spiritual interference. It reveals how to identify the silent sabotage operating around you, how to reclaim your space without guilt, and how to cut the invisible cords of envy for good so you can finally grow as light as you were born to be. The moment you open these pages, you will understand that envy cannot reach those who see it first. The siege only has power as long as it remains invisible and unnamed. Once you name it, it loses its grip on your reality. But this cosmic configuration does not wait. Every door that closes at the last minute, every heavy look you absorb in silence, every time you dim your light to make others comfortable without this path, is another piece of your vitality drained away. Every single week you spend trying to rationalize this heavy energy, every unexplainable exhaustion. After sharing a victory, every sudden drop in momentum right at the finish line is the siege taking exactly what it wants from your life. You are feeding the invisible barrier that stands between you and the breakthrough you have already earned. You do not have to live like this anymore. You do not have to carry the weight of a gaze that does not belong to you. The digital book is in the first pinned comment. Download it right now, while this word is still alive in you. Do not let another victory slip through your fingers, just because you refuse to see the spiritual reality surrounding you. Claim the complete shielding from this siege that only this path maps out entirely. Take a deep breath and imagine that lighthouse again, standing tall on the edge of the cliff. The insects only gather when the light turns on, drawn by a brilliance they cannot comprehend, but desperately want to touch. You cannot turn off your light, Gemini, because that is your essence. That is the fundamental core of who you are. But you can finally seal the glass. You can reinforce the walls so that nothing from the outside can ever reach the flame inside. Feel that shift in your chest right now. Feel the sudden realization that you are not broken, that you are not paranoid, and that this exhaustion is not your permanent destiny. The relief is already beginning to settle over your shoulders as the heavy energy begins to detach from your aura. And as I had told you earlier, Gemini, besides the digital book that is in the first pinned comment, there is that open voluntary donation link right below the book. I still do not receive a single cent for every message that goes out from here to you. That is why this link exists, so that another Gemini tomorrow can find exactly this message that found you today. Any amount your heart points to. Each gesture like this keeps our channel standing and makes the next message reach those who need it, exactly as it reached you today. The next layer goes deeper. And now, with the path laid out before you, the name descends. You have spent months, perhaps years, Gemini, trying to rationalize the sudden halts and the heavy energy that always seemed to crash into you exactly when you are on the verge of a major breakthrough. You tried to fix your routine, you questioned your own competence, and you even wondered if you were subconsciously sabotaging your own success. But the universe is pulling back the curtain today to show you what has actually been operating in the background of your life. It is not a streak of bad luck. It is not your own paranoia. It is not a coincidence. It is the invisible siege of the dual worlds. This is a layered spiritual interference specifically designed to target the unique vibration of your sign. The invisible siege of the dual worlds operates by wrapping layers of spiritual envy around your light, attempting to suffocate your momentum before your success can fully manifest in the physical realm. It is a siege precisely because it does not attack you directly. It surrounds you. It waits until you are exhausted, until you are vulnerable, and until you are just about to reach the finish line, and then it drops a heavy, unexplainable curtain over your energy field. It drains you so quietly that you end up believing the exhaustion is your own fault. Imagine a strong, beautiful fortress Gemini, a structure built with absolute resilience, designed to withstand any direct storm or blatant attack. But one morning, the inhabitants of this fortress suddenly find their heavy wooden gates completely jammed. They push, they pull, and nothing moves. At first, they think the wood is rotting. They think the iron hinges are broken. They blame the structure itself, but the truth is entirely different. The gates are not broken. The fortress is not weak. What actually happened is that someone, or rather an unseen force, has been quietly piling heavy rocks against those doors in the dead of night. The attack was completely silent. It did not announce itself with trumpets or war cries. It simply accumulated weight in the dark until everything came to a freezing halt. That is exactly where you are right now, Gemini. You have been blaming your own foundation. You have been questioning your own strength and wondering why you cannot push the doors of your life open. But the fortress is intact. The invisible walls that have risen around you, brick by invisible brick, are entirely external. And here is the beautiful turning point. The moment the sun rises and you finally see the rocks for what they are, you can easily kick them away and step out into the light. I saw you swallow the good news at that table because something warned you it wasn't safe. I watched you intentionally dim your own brilliant mind just to keep the peace and make those around you feel comfortable in their own insecurities. You have carried this heavy gaze for so long, assuming you had to shrink to survive, but I am telling you today that your light was never the problem. It is the very reason I am stepping in right now to break this siege on your behalf. There is a man who carried this exact same heavy siege for years, walking the exact same exhausting cycle you are walking right now. He was brilliant, hard-working, and deeply kind. Yet, every single time he was about to get a major promotion, every time the ink was about to dry on a life-changing contract, something absolutely bizarre would happen. A sudden miscommunication, an unexplainable delay, or a completely unexpected change in management, and he would be pushed right back to the bottom. He thought he was cursed. He thought he simply wasn't competent enough to hold the success he was building. And then, he finally realized that it was never his competence failing at the finish line. It was an energy he was unknowingly allowing into his space. The invisible siege of the dual worlds had been operating around him, feeding off his tendency to share his victories before they were completely finalized. What changed in his life was not his work ethic. He didn't need to work harder or become a different person. What changed was his spiritual boundaries. He learned how to identify the invisible rocks. He learned to completely seal his energetic field, and the very next month, the gates flew open effortlessly. You are still processing this right now, feeling that sudden shiver of recognition tracing down your spine as your lungs finally take a full, deep breath of relief. The deepest truth is still ahead, and it has your name. The revelation of this invisible siege is not meant to scare you. Gemini, it is meant to finally validate what you have known all along. But understanding the siege is only half the battle. The true liberation comes when you finally recognize who you had to become while fighting it in the dark. Because you did not just survive this heavy energy, you molded your entire personality around it, taking on specific roles to protect the very light they were trying to drain. There is the overseen. Gemini feels the temperature of the room shift before a single word is spoken. Gemini reads the micro-expressions of jealousy and immediately retreats. You are the one who learned to dim your own glow, shrinking your brilliance just to make the insecure people around you feel a little more comfortable. Your greatest vulnerability was believing that if you made yourself smaller, the heavy stares would finally stop, when in reality, they only fed on your silence. Then there is the translator of worlds. Gemini connects what nobody else connects, bridging the gaps between entirely different groups of people. Gemini sees all sides, translating the unspoken tension, but gets completely drained doing it. You assume the role of the ultimate peacemaker, absorbing everyone else's emotional chaos until you had absolutely no energy left to fight for your own victories. You carried their burdens so effortlessly that they completely forgot you had your own. And finally, there is the bearer of two flames. Gemini carries the impossible weight. You are the one who conquered by carrying two worlds at once, your visible, effortless charm and your deeply hidden ambition. You built your true dreams in absolute secrecy because you intuitively knew that the moment you exposed them to the light, the invisible rocks would start piling up at your gate. You mastered the art of succeeding alone, but the profound loneliness of that hidden victory almost broke you. You are all of them, Gemini. You have been carrying these mantles for so long that you forgot what it feels like to simply exist without managing the energy of every single person in the room. Notice your chest right now. Feel that sudden warmth spreading through your ribs, that sudden opening of your breath, because that warmth has a name. It is the relief of finally being seen. It is the universe validating every silent battle you fought while pretending everything was perfectly fine. But this identity that has just been declared over you needs to be sustained, because the Gemini who knows their own worth without knowing the siege that surrounds them goes back to carrying stairs that are not theirs. To hold this power, I found this digital book called The Great Secret of the Universe to Keep Envy Away from Gemini's Life. You will find it right now in the first pinned comment. This is the exact map you need to sustain the identity that has just been declared over you. Because understanding your light is useless if you leave the doors wide open for this silent shadow that returns exactly when everything finally seemed to unlock. Do not wait for the heavy look to return to sustain what has just been spoken over you. The invisible walls that tried to keep you small are entirely mapped within these pages. Grab your copy, step into the fullness of this newfound clarity, and permanently lock the gates behind you. I promised I would return to this, but before we move forward, you need to know exactly how this cycle will try to return, because it will try. I told you this cycle would try to return, Gemini, because even after the invisible walls are named, the siege will test your new boundaries to see if the gates are truly locked. You must be ready for the pushback. The first tactic of the siege is the doubt that sounds exactly like your own voice, telling you that you simply aren't ready yet. It is that sudden imposter syndrome whispering that you do not deserve the breakthrough, disguised as your own logical reasoning. It wants you to stay small so nobody gets offended by your growth. When this hits, your weapon is both physical and verbal. Go to the nearest sink, let the cold water run over your wrists, and declare out loud, "My light is mine." Wash away the heavy energy that is trying to impersonate your own thoughts. The second tactic is the sudden, crushing exhaustion that hits right before you start working on your biggest dream. For some of you, this shows up as a physical heaviness just as you sit down to finish that creative project. For others, it is an unexplainable brain fog the night before a major presentation or a financial move. It is not natural tiredness, Gemini. It is a spiritual attack aiming to freeze you in place. When that exhaustion drops over your shoulders, your weapon is the mind's eye. Close your eyes and visualize a massive shield of fire erupting around your body, instantly burning away any invisible cord trying to drain your momentum. The third tactic is the overwhelming urge to share your good news with the wrong person, just to get validation. It is that desperate, almost uncontrollable itch to announce your victory before the ink is even dry, hoping their praise will make it feel real. But you already know how that ends, with a bitter taste in your mouth and your energy depleted. Your weapon here is absolute, unwavering silence. When the urge to overshare arises, you must seal your lips. Let the envious energy have absolutely nothing to latch onto. Keep it entirely to yourself until your victory is fully manifested in the physical world. These three weapons protect you from what I was able to show you today. But the cycle has more layers than fit in a single video. The siege is complex, it is ancient, and it will try to adapt to your new boundaries. It will look for the smallest cracks in your armor, because when the compliment comes with a bitter aftertaste, when the project freezes again on the eve, when the nameless exhaustion returns after certain encounters, you will need more than just a quick defense. You will need the definitive strategy to keep your field completely sealed. To cover what remains, you need this digital book called The Great Secret of the Universe to Keep Envy Away from Gemini's Life. You can find it right now in the first pinned comment. This is the complete map of the protection you need, so this siege never catches you again. It reveals every single blind spot you still have, and teaches you exactly how to permanently lock the gates of your fortress, ensuring your energy remains entirely yours. I am not rushing you. I am warning you. Do not wait for the next siege to open the map. This cosmic window to seal your energetic field will not wait for your hesitation. This specific alignment is handing you the keys, but you must be the one to turn the lock. Download your copy and claim your true defense while the door is still open. And right now, I need you to stop learning for a moment and start feeling. I need you to close your eyes now, Gemini. Drop the defenses you have been holding up all day. Let go of the tension you have been locking in your jaw without even realizing it. Relax your shoulders. Take one deep breath, very slowly. We are entering the space where the real shift happens, and you do not need to fight this invisible battle anymore. Imagine standing in the center of a vast, quiet room. The air around you feels dense, still carrying the lingering weight of all those heavy stares and unspoken judgments you absorbed throughout the years. But suddenly, right at the edge of your energy field, a circle of magnificent outward-facing mirrors begins to rise from the floor. They emerge seamlessly, rising up and locking into place all around you, creating an impenetrable ring of pristine glass and blinding light. Watch as any heavy look, any jealous thought, and any silent resentment directed at your life hits that glass and bounces straight back to the sender. You are no longer absorbing the impact. Feel the physical weight lifting off your neck and shoulders right this second. Feel your chest expanding and your breathing opening up, becoming deeper, lighter, and entirely effortless, as the space inside those mirrors becomes pure, warm, and entirely yours. It is time to drop what was never yours to carry. Let go of the guilt for shining brighter than the room expected you to. Let go of the deeply rooted fear of being seen in your full, unapologetic magnitude. Let go of the invisible exhaustion that came from constantly managing everyone else's fragile insecurities. Let go of the bitter compliments and the connections that only wanted you around as long as you remained comfortably small. You are stepping into a new sovereignty today, Gemini. The overseen is finally allowed to glow, breaking the habit of shrinking and never again apologizing for its inherent brilliance. The translator of worlds is finally cutting the draining cords, choosing to bridge only what brings absolute peace, rather than absorbing the emotional chaos of others. And the bearer of two flames is finally merging those separated lives into one undeniable force, bringing your hidden ambition fully into the light, because the fortress is now completely sealed, guarded, and protected. You are still processing this right now, feeling that exact shiver of recognition on the back of your neck as the old energy detaches from your aura. Before we seal this entirely, I want you to go down to the comments. Write down the name of someone you are carrying through this crossing. Or, if this journey is just for you, write in one sentence what you are expecting the universe to return to you now that the gates are open. I will read it. And you will not write this alone. Do not let go of this energy yet. We are not finished. Stay with me. A shield of absolute light is now permanently placed over your home. A wall of impenetrable protection is firmly drawn around your every effort. The victory that is currently on its way to you is completely sealed. We who carry the unseen balance of the world in silence have watched you fight these exhausting battles completely alone. We have seen you question your own mind when the doors closed at the last minute, blaming your own foundation when the invisible rocks were piled against your gates. I saw you swallow the good news at that table because something warned you it wasn't safe. You felt the temperature drop. You felt the heavy stare of hidden resentment, and instead of celebrating your breakthrough, you chose to protect yourself by hiding your joy. You did exactly what you had to do to survive the siege in that moment. You were not born to merely endure the envy of others, the unexplainable exhaustion that hits you at 3 in the afternoon, the bitter aftertaste of a compliment wrapped in jealousy, the sudden urge to delete your achievements. These were never your burdens to carry. They were the frantic attempts of a heavy energy trying to anchor a spirit that was always meant to fly free. The time for shrinking your brilliance is definitively over. We are actively removing the invisible cords that tied your momentum down, completely clearing the path for the profound breakthrough you have already earned. From this moment forward, no unspoken jealousy will ever have the power to dim your light again. The doubt that sounds like your own voice telling you aren't ready ends right here. The sudden exhaustion right before you start working on your dream ends right here. The urge to share your good news with the wrong person just to get validation ends right here. Gemini has never been half of anything. Gemini is not envied for being light. Gemini is envied for carrying two worlds where others can barely hold one. Don't let go yet. The universe has just told you, I saw you swallow the good news at that table because something warned you it wasn't safe. And that is exactly why I need to remind you of something before we seal. What was cut here today is absolutely real. You can feel the lightness in your chest, the profound relief of finally dropping a weight that was never yours to carry. But the reality of the physical world is that tomorrow morning, the environment will try to convince you that nothing has changed. The old patterns will attempt to return every hidden resentment, every bitter smile, every heavy look that will try to sit on your shoulders again tomorrow morning will actively search for a crack in your newly formed armor. You cannot allow this cycle to restart. To sustain the shield that was built in this crossing so it is not lost tomorrow, you need the great secret of the universe to keep envy away from Gemini's life. It is available right now in the first pinned comment. This digital book is your permanent companion of protection, designed to ensure that the gates we just locked remain entirely impenetrable. Do not wait for tomorrow to test the protection that was built today. Secure your copy right now, lock your fortress permanently, and never apologize for shining again. There are thousands of Geminis listening to this right now, standing in the exact same silence as you. If this voice found you today, subscribe to the channel, not for numbers, but because the next message of this series is going to look exactly for those who have already crossed this first one. In the next video of this series, I am going to show you the exact sign that appears 3 days before the invisible siege completely falls apart, and why almost every Gemini ignores it. Do not miss it. And still in this video, Gemini, before I seal this hour with you, I come back one last time to this request. You have walked with me this far. You have crossed every word, every revelation, every sign. And if at any moment of this message you felt the universe touch you, you know this video was not an accident. The voluntary donation link remains open in the first pinned comment, right below the digital book. Not as a charge, not as an exchange, but as a giving back from the one who received to the source this message came from. Any amount your heart points to, and the universe sees every gesture. The universe sees, and the universe multiplies over your home, over your days, over what you don't even know is about to arrive. This was my last request. I'll be waiting for you there. Thank you so much. And when the heavy look tries to return, remember that the answer has a name, the great secret of the universe, and it is already within your reach. The lighthouse is completely sealed, the glass is protected, and the insects can no longer touch your flame. Now, you can let go. This message is complete. What was seen was seen. What was cut was cut. Walk light, Gemini.